The following program was produced by the United States Courts.
One of the things that I learned when I was growing up was my parents' tremendous work ethic and their sense of humility and their tremendous gratitude for the opportunities that this country offered. And I always had a sense that it would be very wasteful not to reach out and take advantage of those opportunities. I was born and raised in a small town north of Saigon. It was a very idyllic childhood. All of that ended abruptly in 1975 when South Vietnam fell to North Vietnam's communist forces. The city was being shelled, and even as a young child, I understood that my parents feared that we would be killed. I certainly knew people who had been killed. My dad was a major in the South Vietnam Army, and so the next task for my dad was really to find a way to get us out of the country. And we were incredibly fortunate to be airlifted out of Vietnam. We went to a tent city that was set up as a temporary shelter for the Vietnamese refugee population in Camp Pendleton, San Diego. My parents were in shock because not only did they have to deal with the loss of their homeland, but also with the prospect of starting all over again, trying to figure out how to provide food and shelter and raise 6 children in a foreign land. Whatever job opportunities came our way, my mom would take it. One of the first jobs that my mom took on was peeling apples and cutting them up and putting them in boxes. And so that was something for which she really required a lot of assistance, because she would do this in the evening hours after her full-time day job. And we would stay up late into the night helping her peel and cut these apples. And that really made a very deep impression on me. The fact that no opportunity was too small to pass by. And I stayed and maintained that, I think, throughout my adulthood. And it really shaped all the decisions that I've made in my life. When I started college, I wanted to major in English literature. And that opened the door for me to go to law school. Even though at that time, could never have imagined or dreamed of becoming a lawyer and a judge. But if I hadn't really strengthened my reading and writing skills, I wouldn't have been prepared for law school. When I graduated from law school, I was very fortunate in a tough market to receive an offer from a big Los Angeles law firm. But I knew that it wasn't my passion. It wasn't what I wanted to wake up in the morning doing every day. And so I jumped at the opportunity to go into the U.S. Attorney's Office, because what I really wanted to do was to be in public service. And even though when I was in private practice, I was making more money than my dad was ever able to make in all of the years that he struggled here in the United States, I still made that choice because pursuing my passion felt like the right decision for me. And that opened up the doors to a career on the bench. In 2002, I was appointed to be a California Superior Court judge, and I was doing it for a few years, feeling for the first time in my professional life like I have everything perfectly balanced. I got a call from a woman that I've known for a long time asking me to think about being a federal judge. The district to which I was appointed, the docket is tremendously heavy. And so I knew that if I accepted that historic appointment, where I would be the first Asian American woman appointed to that bench, I would have to work very, very hard and essentially doubling my workload. And I didn't know if I was ready for that type of challenge. She called me again and she said, "You need to do this." Whenever I face difficult decisions in my life, I'm always reminded of my parents. Seeing that example, I think, has always inspired me to reach outside of my comfort zone. I think you have to have the courage to hold on to the opportunities that you're given that could change the course of your entire life. And that's what I did. And that's how I became a federal judge.
Hello everyone, I'm Major General Garrett Yee, Assistant to the Director of the Defense Information Systems Agency. As many of you know, May is Asian American Pacific Islanders, or AAPI month. It's a time we put aside to focus on what people from backgrounds similar to mine contribute to the overall American culture. They are U.S. citizens who trace their lineage back to places like Japan, China, Taiwan, Korea, Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, the Philippines, Samoa, Fiji, Guam, and the Northern Marianas. Oftentimes, people outside the AAPI community think that this is a month for Asians to celebrate our cultures. Not exactly. What we are celebrating is what Asians and Pacific Islanders have added to the overall American culture. Imagine an America without Asian restaurants, martial arts, the musical genius of Yo-Yo Ma, fashion designer Vera Wang, Olympic figure skater Kristi Yamaguchi, Medal of Honor recipient and Senator Daniel Inouye, Yahoo founder Jerry Yang, or any of the 23 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that contribute to America's workforce and fight in our wars. And while we are proud of where we come from, we are, after all, Americans first. A nation of people from all around the world coming together to form something unique, something greater than just the sum of our parts, a diverse group of people united by a common cause. That has never been more true than it was in the days, weeks, and months following the terrorist attack of 9/11. Those of us who lived through the time remember streets lined with American flags flown in front of homes from coast to coast. Strangers on the street began thanking military members for their service, and people being just a little nicer to one another. But we've been through a lot since then. 20 years of war, 3 presidents, 1 global pandemic. It feels like we've lost some of that collective kindness. Since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, extremists around the world have begun using the disease as justification for racially motivated violence. According to a recent study conducted at California State University, San Bernardino, anti-Asian hate crimes in the United States have increased nearly 150% in the years since the pandemic began. Much of the violence in the news is directed towards Chinese Americans due to the possible linkage of COVID-19's origination. Even more disturbing is the fact that the majority of the violence is directed towards the elderly, many of whom are not even Chinese descent, let alone ever visited that country. But this is not who we are as a nation. America is a nation of immigrants. America was founded on the principles of freedom and equality. As military members and federal employees, we take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What makes our oath unique is that it is not to a person, like other countries around the world, but to an idea. That idea is that all people are created equal. We pledge our loyalty to the Constitution of the United States, a document created to establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility. America's strength comes from our ability to learn from one another, to gather the best parts of every culture and add them to our collective culture. Our citizens are not Asian Americans, or European Americans, or African Americans. We are Americans, a blend of many cultures, and we are better for that. Since World War II, many members of my family served in the United States military. My uncle Jimmy Eno was awarded a Purple Heart when he was wounded in Europe fighting with the famed 442nd Regimental Combat Team, an all-Japanese American Army unit. My Aunt Sue Kumagai was one of the first Asian American females to reach the rank of colonel when she served in the Army during the Vietnam War. In total, more than a dozen members of my immediate family donned the uniform of the United States military, each of them paving a way for the generation of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that followed. My story is only one of thousands that can only be told by members of our workforce. Throughout the month of May, DISA will be showcasing stories that highlight the Asian American and Pacific Islanders throughout the agency. Individuals who bring unique perspectives to our team through their history, culture, and contributions to the overall culture of this great nation. I hope that you will take a few minutes out of your busy day to check them out. Have a great day, and thank you for all that you do for our nation.
Hello, everybody.
你好
Hi, こんにちは。
，Hello， 大家好。
Hello, my name is Wen Shan Kwang.
你好嘛，我嘅名係朱無基。Hi, I'm Kelly Busquets. I'm an engineer with the Goddard Space Flight Center.
Mabuhay. My name is Tony Arviola, and I work at Langley Research Center.
My name is Karthik Sheth. I'm an astrophysicist working in the Science Mission Directorate.
This is Kenji Miki.
My name is Jenny Staggs.
My name is Steve Shi. I'm the Associate Administrator for Diversity and Equal Opportunity here at NASA.
안녕하세요. Currently, I'm rotating in as the communications lead for NASA's Human Research Program, but I am also a flight controller in Mission Control for the International Space Station.
I'm a research materials engineer.
I'm a program analyst.
I work as a software engineer.
So I work in our environmental management office and our center operations directorate at Langley Research Center.
I do research on electric propulsion. Electric propulsion is like that really futuristic looking stuff you see in sci-fi movies where the rocket shoots out blue flames.
I came here from Japan long time ago, hoping that I could work for NASA. Actually, this is my favorite picture that I kept near my desk for a long time.
I am a proud American. I am proud to be an Asian American.
And I'm so proud to be a part of the NASA family.
I'm second generation of Vietnamese and Taiwanese descent.
I grew up in the Philippines.
I'm Indian American.
I'm Filipino. Both my parents are from the Philippines.
I come from India.
I continue to ensure my children do not lose touch with their heritage by teaching them the language as well as English. I am really honored and blessed to be part of an organization that embraces diverse backgrounds.
But never in my wildest dreams did I expect to be working at NASA.
When I came to Johnson Space Center specifically and was able to find that community, it was so nice to kind of have that instant connection.
Space is a very unforgiving environment, and it often takes a very diverse team of people to be able to overcome space challenges.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity to work at an agency where our work benefits the entire world.
So no matter what your background is, I say to you, if you're interested in doing space, there will be a place for you to contribute.
I am profoundly deaf, which makes me a unique person who is a deaf Asian employed at NASA. I had to overcome both language and hearing barriers.
I'm an ambitious woman and I do not let anyone discourage me.
You notice my speaking. I have some speaking problem on top of a Japanese accent. But in NASA, no one care about it. They just care what I'm doing. So it makes me very happy and proud of myself, 100%.
Make sure that you chase passion and not chase success. If you chase passion, success will follow.
Follow your passion and dream and always look to overcome obstacles rather than running away from these.
Visit as many different places as you possibly can. Travel if you can as well. It helps build out perspectives, build out your worldview.
The theme for 2021 Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is Advancing Leaders Through Purpose-Driven Service.
Thank you for joining us in celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Happy AAPI Heritage Month. 대단히 감사합니다.
All right, thank you.
Paalam.
再见
Namaste, wanakam.
Bye bye. Joy again.
ありがとうございます。さよなら。